It's FA Cup final week. How you feeling, Leah?
I'm very excited. I was just saying, I think this week's gone so slow already because obviously we're waiting and it's Sunday. Obviously we lost the game against Arsenal, so you want to put things right and it just seems so far away, but I think obviously it's good for the prep. Obviously we need as much prep as possible. But yeah, I want it now. I want it to be today.
Is that how everyone's feeling? Because obviously it's a big squad of players, everybody reacts to these things differently, but is everybody just like, come on, let's have this?
I got the feeling today in training, yeah. Obviously, like, it's also a hard week. Like, everyone's a little bit nervous. Like, obviously the game's not here yet, but we've got to practice things for the game. Penalties are coming in for training, like just to practice, just in case, obviously. Strategies, stuff like that. So it's a big week to take a lot on and a lot in. You have to take, obviously, a lot in training, but I get the vibe that everyone's pretty much ready to go. And we're all really excited, obviously, after last year and the success we had. We just want to repeat it again.
How difficult are Chelsea to prepare for? Because they've got a massive squad and they're obviously just on a roll.
Yeah, it's hard because obviously everything in me thinks we can beat them. Of course we can beat them. But then you look at all the stats and you look at their season and it's like, yeah, they're unbeaten. Obviously we've lost them twice. I think it was 1-0 both games. So it's like a close game in that sense, but they're still obviously won the game. Obviously I can't say too much, but we know who we're playing against. We know how to beat them. It's just putting that into practice on the day. And they'll obviously bring their A game like they always do. They're consistent, they're a good team, but I think that's what will make it feel even better when we do win, because I'm going to speak positively. Obviously when we do win,
Exactly.
It'll be a great feeling.
Do you feel as though you're kind of coming in under the radar there? Because there's been so much talk about the season that Chelsea have had, whereas you're the defending champs here. You know, and you beat them in the FA Cup last season. It's not out of the realms of possibility if you go there and beat them, but it doesn't feel like anyone's really talking about that.
Yeah, I think when you look as an outsider, you look at them, they've won the league, obviously they did well in the Champions League, like obviously they got knocked out, but they still had a good run. They're a strong squad, they've got a deep squad, like they're so good. People coming off and coming on, you're like, oh, like, you know, they're just as good as each other. So I think naturally people are going to side with them and they're going to, like, they've beaten us twice this year already. So you kind of would look at it like that, but I think it's a good thing for us. I think obviously we go there and we're like, we won this last year. We've got nothing to lose. We're in another final and let's just put it on them.
Not just that as well, I suppose you've shown already this season, not just how good this team is, but how sort of gutsy, determined it can win when it needs to get into the trenches. It can dig deep, and that's kind of, I presume, what's going to happen on Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a graft. It always is. You've got Wembley, which is massive, like a massive pitch, gorgeous pitch, but massive. And then you've got a battle with obviously the fans and the crowd are amazing, but that's also another external thing. You kind of have to shut it out and just get on with the game, which isn't easy. And then you're playing a team like Chelsea. You don't know if it's going to go extra time, penalties, like there's so many factors. But I think us this year, we know that we've come from behind a lot. So like obviously at City we were 2-0 down, we were 10 men, like, you know, it's kind of like we've got a lot of things this year in the bag where I'm like, no, we've done this before, like we can do it again.
That City game, I think, was kind of pivotal, wasn't it? To just sort of, you know, cement, because everyone was talking about that run of games you had towards the end of the season, but you got the result you needed to guarantee Champions League football. Does that again kind of just show where this team's at, I suppose, at the moment?
Yeah, I think obviously we knew going into the last 4 games, I think it was, even West Ham away, it's not an easy game.
The way they were playing, yeah.
They're a good team, they're organised, their pitch, it's difficult. And I think that proved to us, obviously, with the 0-0, like it's not an easy place to go. But we knew that we just had to get a draw against City and we're secured for next season. And obviously, I think knowing that, you go into the game and you're like, give it everything you've got, like everything on the line. I think I ended up at left back for about 25 minutes when we got someone sent off. So you just got to give it your all. And I think it's now worth it. And I can go into this game thinking if I play or not, like I can give everything. It's the last one. It means a lot. If you put everything on the line, you've got a good chance of winning. And I think to lift the trophy again, like it would be unbelievable.
Manchester United have had a good sort of history in the last couple of seasons in the FA Cup and the FA Cup final. Obviously, they won it last year. But you had a very different experience of the FA Cup final last year, didn't you? You broke your leg.
Yeah, so I fractured my tib.
Fractured your leg. I mean, still very painful, yeah.
And I did all my ligaments in my ankle.
And that was only a few minutes into the game?
Yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes into the game. I've seen, obviously, when we did analysis on the game and stuff, it was hard to watch because in that moment I knew what had happened.
Yeah.
But obviously your adrenaline's going, everyone's like, come on, get up, like get on with the game and run it off. And I was like, run it off? I was like, I can't feel my leg, but okay. But I think I played up front with, well, on the wing next to Rach in that game. And all I remember saying to me is like, you've got this. Like, obviously, because you don't know the extent, you just think it could be anything. And I remember thinking, oh, I really hope I can get to half time. And then, yeah, took my boot off, boom, massive, and then tried to go back on, but couldn't.
That's the thing, because I remember I was at the game and it was like, you were still playing. And it looked like a nasty injury when it happened.
Yeah.
Like, how you paid for 40 plus minutes on a fractured leg?
Yeah. Yeah, weird. I don't know how I did it, because someone bumps me in training and I'm like, ah. But like, I think it was just the excitement, the day, like my adrenaline's up here. Obviously we're on top in the game, because I think we're on top quite a lot in that game. And I wanted to be on the pitch. I wanted to be there. I wanted to play in the game. So I was fighting, you know, being coming off. But there was a point, I think it was at like 50 minutes, where I said, look, I can't do this anymore. Like, you're going to have to bring someone else on.
So talk me through the celebrations then, because you were on crutches for the celebrations, weren't you?
Yeah.
So, again, with a fractured leg, and I remember seeing you on the pitch at one point with one crutch in the air.
Yeah.
So, it must have felt a bit weird knowing, hang on, I've done something here, but this is an incredible moment in my career.
That's why it was so tough, because it was like part of me was here, but then part of me was here. So we've just won something major for the first time at this club. I've been here since it started. Yeah. So that's like, for me, that's the best emotion. But then on the other side, I'm like, ow, like, you know, like I can't put any weight on my leg. Something's going on and I don't know until 2 days when I get a scan. So it was really tough, because 1 minute I was happy, 1 minute I was crying. It must have looked so weird, and I just couldn't like regulate in between. But I celebrated with the girls, and I did have an early night because I just couldn't, and now I know why I couldn't, but like I was like, I can't do this, I'm gonna have to go home.
What will success at Wembley on Sunday mean though for this club? Will it be kind of like a, look, every time the season predictions come out, we're always, oh, you might get Champions, but no, we're here to stay. This is where we belong.
Yeah, I hope so. I think finals are weird though, aren't they? They're like a bit cagey. You know, no one wants to mess up. It's one of them, like, is it going to be a boring game because everyone's scared? Is it going to be end to end? You just don't know. So I think, I don't know. I can't predict it, but I know for a fact that me and my whole team are going to get everything we can, and I know we'll have loads of people there supporting, and it'll be a great atmosphere. And I think it's just going to be a day for us to really enjoy, and like you say, like try and prove to everyone like we are here to stay, and we're not just going to float around the middle of the table and be up and down. I think it's, especially this year with finishing third and then we're in a final, it's a big year for us. Like, hopefully it shows people like, yeah, they mean business.
Hey, and you might leave the pitch with a winner's medal and both your legs working properly, so...
Yeah, if I do, it'll be a good year. I hope so.
Thanks, Leah, appreciate it.
Thank you.